Welcome back, Rare Coin Insider. Imagine holding a small, seemingly ordinary coin in your hand, something you might overlook every single day, a 1-cent coin from the United States dated 1999, a piece so common that millions of people have passed it around without a second thought. Yet hidden within this tiny copper-colored disc lies a story that stretches across centuries, a story of design, history, rarity, and in some extraordinary cases, unbelievable value that can shock even experienced collectors. Because while most 1999 pennies are worth exactly 1 cent, there are rare variations and unique circumstances that can turn this humble coin into something worth a fortune, even reaching claims and discussions around values as high as $91 million, a number so massive that it sounds almost unreal. And that is exactly why this coin has captured the attention of collectors, historians, and treasure hunters alike. To truly understand the significance of the 1999 1-cent coin, you have to first appreciate what it represents in the broader history of American currency, because the 1-cent coin, often referred to as the penny, has been a part of the United States monetary system since the late 18th century, evolving through numerous designs and compositions. But the 1999 version belongs to one of the most iconic and longest-running designs ever produced, featuring the profile of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse side, a design that was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, making it the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure rather than a symbolic representation. When you look closely at the 1999 penny, you will notice the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln facing right, a design created by Victor David Brenner, whose initials, BDB, can be found subtly placed on the coin, though their placement has changed over the years due to early controversies, and above Lincoln's head you will see the word Liberty, along with the year 1999, while the phrase, "In God We Trust," arches along the top edge, creating a design that is both simple and deeply symbolic, representing freedom, faith, and the legacy of one of America's most respected presidents. Turning the coin over, the reverse side features the Lincoln Memorial, a design introduced in 1959 to mark the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, and this design remained in use until 2008, making the 1999 penny part of the Lincoln Memorial series, one of the most widely recognized coin designs in the world. And if you look very carefully at the memorial, you can actually see a tiny depiction of Lincoln sitting inside the structure, a detail so small that many people never notice it, yet it adds an incredible layer of artistry and depth to the coin. And above the memorial are the words, "United States of America," while below it reads, "1 cent," with the Latin motto, "E pluribus unum," placed prominently across the top of the memorial. Now, beyond its design, the physical properties of the 1999 penny also tell an important story, because by this time, the composition of the coin had already changed significantly from earlier decades, as pennies minted before 1982 were made primarily of copper, but due to rising copper prices, the composition was altered to a zinc core with a thin copper plating, meaning that the 1999 penny is made of 97.5% zinc and only 2.5% copper, giving it a lighter weight of approximately 2.5 grams, compared to the older copper pennies, which weighed about 3.11 grams, and this change not only affected the feel of the coin, but also its durability and long-term preservation, as zinc-based coins are more prone to corrosion if the copper plating is damaged. However, what truly makes the 1999 penny fascinating is not its standard version, but the rare errors and unique variations that can occur during the minting process, because coins are produced in massive quantities using high-speed machinery, and even the smallest mistake in alignment, pressure, or die creation can result in a coin that is dramatically different from the rest. And these errors are exactly what collectors look for, because they transform an ordinary coin into a rare and valuable artifact, and in the case of the 1999 penny, one of the most talked about variations is the so-called wide AM and close AM differences on the reverse side. In a standard 1999 penny, the letters A and M in the word America are very close together, almost touching, which is known as the close AM design, but in some rare instances, coins were mistakenly struck using a proof die that features a wide AM, where there is a noticeable gap between the letters, and this small detail can make an enormous difference in value, because these error coins are extremely scarce, and collectors are willing to pay significant amounts to acquire them, sometimes reaching thousands of dollars depending on the coin's condition. And that is where the idea of extreme value begins to emerge, because while the vast majority of 1999 pennies are worth only their face value, the rarest examples, especially those with unique minting errors, exceptional preservation, or historical significance, can command astonishing prices in the collector's market. And although claims of a $91 million value are highly exaggerated and often used as attention-grabbing headlines, they reflect the intense fascination and excitement surrounding rare coins, where a single discovery can change someone's life overnight. As you continue to explore the world of coin collecting, you begin to realize that value is not just about the metal or the denomination, but about rarity, condition, demand, and the story behind the coin, and the 1999 1-cent coin serves as a perfect example of how something so small and ordinary can carry immense historical and financial significance, waiting to be discovered by those who know where to look and what details to observe. And this is just the beginning of the journey into understanding this coin, because there are still many layers to uncover, including mint marks, grading systems, auction records, and the deeper reasons why collectors are willing to pay such extraordinary amounts for certain coins, all of which reveal a hidden world where even a single penny can become a treasure beyond imagination. As you go deeper into the world of the 1999 1-cent coin, one of the most important aspects that begins to shape its value and identity is the presence of mint marks, small letters placed on the coin that indicate where it was produced. And in 1999, these pennies were minted primarily in 3 locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, each with its own distinguishing mark or absence of one, and understanding these marks is essential for any collector trying to determine whether a coin might be ordinary or something far more special. Coins minted in Philadelphia typically carry no mint mark at all, which might seem confusing at first, but this absence is actually a defining feature, while coins from Denver display a small D just below the date on the obverse side, and those from San Francisco, which are usually proof coins made specifically for collectors, carry an S mint mark, and these proof coins are struck with a higher level of precision, resulting in a mirror-like finish and sharper details, making them visually distinct from regular circulation coins, and often more desirable in the collecting community. But mint marks alone do not determine value, because millions upon millions of pennies were produced in 1999, and the sheer volume means that most of them are extremely common. However, when you combine mint marks with rare errors, unusual die varieties, and exceptional condition, that is when the true magic begins to happen, because collectors are not just looking for any coin. They are searching for coins that stand out, coins that tell a unique story, and coins that are difficult to find. One of the most fascinating aspects of coin collecting is the grading system, which is used to evaluate the condition of a coin, and this system plays a crucial role in determining its market value, because even a rare coin can lose much of its worth if it is heavily worn or damaged, while a common coin in perfect condition can sometimes fetch a surprisingly high price. And coins are graded on a scale that ranges from poor condition, where the design is barely visible, all the way up to mint state grades like MS65, MS67, or even higher, where the coin appears almost flawless, with sharp details, no visible wear, and an attractive luster. For the 1999 penny, coins that have been preserved in near-perfect condition, especially those graded at MS-67 or above, are significantly more valuable than those that have been circulated, and when you combine such high grades with rare variations like the wide AM error, the value can increase dramatically, sometimes reaching thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars in auctions, depending on demand and availability. And then, there are the rare minting errors that go beyond simple letter spacing, errors that occur during the complex process of die creation and coin striking, such as double die errors, where the design appears slightly duplicated due to misalignment during the engraving process, or off-center strikes, where the coin is not properly aligned during minting, resulting in a design that is shifted to one side. And even more dramatic errors, like clipped planchets, where a portion of the coin is missing due to a mistake in the cutting process. Each of these errors adds a layer of uniqueness to the coin, transforming it from a mass-produced object into a one-of-a-kind collectible. Collectors are especially drawn to these error coins because they represent a break in the normal process, a moment where something went wrong, and in the world of numismatics, those mistakes are often more valuable than perfection itself, because they are rare, unpredictable, and impossible to replicate intentionally, and that is why a small detail, something that might go unnoticed by the average person, can make an enormous difference in value. Now, when it comes to the idea of a 1999 penny being worth $91 million, it is important to approach such claims with a realistic perspective, because while there are indeed coins that have sold for millions of dollars, such as rare historical pieces or unique prototypes, a standard 1999 penny, even with rare errors, does not typically reach such astronomical values. However, the concept of extreme worth is often used to highlight the potential hidden value within everyday objects, encouraging people to take a closer look at the coins they encounter, because you never truly know what you might find. In reality, the highest verified sales for rare 1999 pennies, particularly those with a wide AM variety in top condition, have reached impressive but far more modest figures, often ranging from several hundred to several $1,000s, and in some exceptional cases, even higher, especially when certified by professional grading services and sold through reputable auction houses, where collectors compete for the rarest and most desirable pieces. Another factor that adds to the allure of the 1999 penny is its place within the broader timeline of the Lincoln cent series, because this coin represents the final years before a major design change that occurred in 2009, when the reverse side was updated to feature a series of new designs celebrating different stages of Abraham Lincoln's life, making the 1999 penny part of the last decade of the Lincoln Memorial era, a period that holds special significance for collectors who appreciate continuity and historical transitions. And beyond its monetary value, the 1999 penny also carries a cultural and emotional significance, because coins are more than just currency, they are pieces of history that pass through countless hands, witnessing everyday transactions, personal moments, and the flow of life itself. And for many collectors, the joy of finding a rare coin is not just about the money, but about the thrill of discovery, the connection to history, and the sense of holding something truly unique. As the journey continues, there is still much more to uncover about this coin, including how collectors identify authenticity, how counterfeit coins are detected, and the secrets hidden in auction markets where rare coins can suddenly skyrocket in value, revealing a world that is as exciting as it is unpredictable. As you continue exploring deeper into the mystery and fascination surrounding the 1999 1-cent coin, you begin to uncover one of the most critical and often overlooked aspects of coin collecting, and that is authentication, because in a market where a tiny detail can mean the difference between 1 cent and thousands of dollars, verifying whether a coin is genuine or altered becomes absolutely essential, especially when rare varieties like the wide AM or double die errors are involved, since There are individuals who attempt to modify coins artificially in order to mimic these valuable features. Professional coin grading and authentication companies play a huge role in this process. Organizations that specialize in examining coins under magnification, analyzing their weight, composition, strike quality, and microscopic details, ensuring that what appears to be rare is actually authentic. And coins that pass through these services are often encapsulated in protective holders with a certified grade and identification, which significantly increases their credibility and value in the market, because collectors are far more willing to invest in a coin that has been verified by experts rather than relying on uncertain personal judgment. And this is where the idea of conditioned rarity becomes even more powerful, because sometimes a coin is not rare due to an error, but simply because it has survived in an extraordinary state of preservation, untouched by circulation, with its original luster still intact, no scratches, no fading, and sharp, crisp details that look as if the coin was just minted yesterday. And these high-grade coins are often stored carefully for years, sometimes decades, before being brought to auction, where they can attract intense competition among collectors who are seeking the very best examples available. In the case of the 1999 penny, coins that achieve grades like MS68 or even higher are incredibly difficult to find, and their scarcity at that level can drive prices far beyond what most people would expect for a 1-cent coin, because collectors are not just buying a piece of metal, they are investing in perfection, in the idea that this coin represents the finest known example of its kind. And that level of excellence carries a premium that continues to grow over time. Another fascinating dimension of the 1999 penny is how it fits into the broader psychology of collecting, because the appeal of rare coins is not just about their physical characteristics, but about the stories, the possibilities, and the sense of discovery that they represent. And when people hear about a coin potentially being worth millions, even if the claim is exaggerated, it creates a spark of curiosity, encouraging them to check their own coins, to look more closely at the small details, and to imagine the possibility that something ordinary could turn out to be extraordinary. This sense of possibility has led to countless stories of unexpected discoveries, where individuals have found rare coins in pocket change, old jars, inherited collections, or even in forgotten drawers. And while such finds are rare, they are not impossible, and it is this element of chance that keeps the excitement alive, because every coin has the potential to be something more than it appears at first glance. At the same time, it is important to understand the realities of the coin market, because values are influenced by a combination of factors including rarity, demand, condition, and timing, and prices can fluctuate depending on trends, collector interest, and economic conditions, meaning that a coin that is highly sought after today may experience changes in value over time. And this dynamic nature of the market adds another layer of complexity and intrigue to the world of numismatics. The claim of a 1999 penny being worth $91 million is often associated with viral stories and attention-grabbing headlines, and while it is not supported by verified auction records, it serves as a powerful reminder of how perception and storytelling can influence interest in collectibles, drawing more people into the hobby and encouraging them to learn more about coins, their history, and their hidden details. And in many ways, this kind of storytelling helps keep the world of coin collecting alive and evolving. Beyond the financial aspect, there is also a deep historical connection embedded in the 1999 penny, because every coin reflects the era in which it was produced, and the late 1990s were a time of technological growth, economic change, and cultural shifts, and this coin, simple as it may seem, was part of that moment in history, passing through countless hands, participating in everyday transactions, and quietly becoming a part of people's lives without them even realizing it. And when you think about it, that is what makes coins so fascinating. They are not just objects, they are witnesses to history, carrying with them the marks of time, the evidence of use, and the stories of the people who have handled them. And for collectors, this connection adds a layer of meaning that goes far beyond monetary value, turning each coin into a small but significant piece of the human experience. As you continue this journey, there is still more to uncover, including how rare coins are sold at auctions, how collectors compete for them, and the incredible stories of coins that have achieved record-breaking prices, revealing just how powerful the combination of rarity, history, and demand can be in transforming something as small as a penny into a true treasure. As the journey of the 1999 1-cent coin reaches its most exciting stage, everything begins to come together in the place where value is truly decided, and that is the auction market, a world where collectors, investors, and enthusiasts gather, sometimes physically and sometimes online, all focused on acquiring rare pieces that complete their collections or elevate their status. And it is in these moments that a simple coin can suddenly transform into a highly sought-after treasure, with bids climbing higher and higher as people compete for ownership. In these auctions, every tiny detail matters, from the exact grading score to the clarity of the strike, from the rarity of the variation to the story behind the coin. And when a 1999 penny with a rare white AM design, or an exceptional mint state grade, or a unique minting error appears on the stage, it captures attention instantly, because collectors understand that opportunities like this do not come often. And once the coin is sold, it may disappear into a private collection for years, or even decades. And this is where the psychology of value becomes truly fascinating, because the price of a coin is not just about what it is made of, but about what someone is willing to pay for it at a specific moment in time. And when two determined collectors both want the same rare coin, the bidding can escalate far beyond expectations, turning a piece that might normally sell for a few $1,000s into something far more valuable, simply because of demand, emotion, and the desire to own something unique. The idea of a $91 million value, while not grounded in verified sales for a 1999 penny, represents the extreme end of what is possible in the world of rare collectibles, where certain coins in history, due to their unmatched rarity and significance, have reached incredible prices. And even though the 1999 penny does not belong to that category in reality, it stands as a symbol of hidden potential, reminding people that value can sometimes be found in the most unexpected places. What makes this even more powerful is the accessibility of this coin, because unlike ancient artifacts locked away in museums, the 1999 penny is something that still exists in circulation, in jars, in drawers, in old collections, meaning that anyone, anywhere, could potentially come across one, and that possibility creates a sense of excitement that is hard to ignore, because it turns an everyday object into a potential discovery waiting to happen. For collectors, the true significance of the 1999 penny goes beyond money. It lies in the thrill of the hunt, the careful examination of details, the satisfaction of identifying a rare variety, and the connection to a larger history that spans generations, and each coin becomes a small victory, a piece of a much larger puzzle that continues to grow over time. And then, there is the human side of it all, the stories of people who have searched through thousands of coins, who have spent years learning the smallest details, who have built collections not just for profit but for passion, and who understand that the real reward is not always the price tag, but the journey itself, the knowledge gained, the patience developed, and the excitement of discovery. The 1999 1-cent coin, in all its simplicity, becomes a perfect representation of this idea, because it teaches an important lesson, that value is not always visible at first glance, that something small can hold incredible significance, and that sometimes the difference between ordinary and extraordinary lies in the details that most people overlook. So the next time you come across a penny, especially one from 1999, take a moment to look at it more closely, examine the spacing of the letters, the sharpness of the design, the presence or absence of a mint mark. because within that tiny piece of metal could be a story waiting to be discovered, a connection to history, and perhaps, just perhaps, a hidden treasure that turns a simple moment into something unforgettable. And in the end, whether it is worth 1 cent or thousands of dollars, the real magic of the 1999 penny is the way it transforms the ordinary into something meaningful, reminding us that even the smallest things in life can carry the greatest stories, if only we take the time to truly see them.